Well, buddy, it's good to see you again on this fine Saturday. But this will be dropping on Monday, so happy Monday to everybody out there. Do you want to hit us with the song, maybe?
Sure, man. Of course I do. I would love to. I would
Get us
love
in
to
that untranslatable mood
with the song.
Ooh, there we go. Coming in hot. I like it.
Is it a little loud on your side?
No, we're good.
Okay.
I just meant there was no hesitation. That was, boom,
I do
song
like
is
to have
going.
some hesitation usually, but it's louder than I was expecting. I was expecting hesitation.
Hello and welcome to the Untranslatable podcast, and we are here today to talk about the Midwest, certainly one of my favorite places in the U.S. I can't speak for my co-host here, but I think the Midwest also has a special place in his heart. And today we're going to be talking about some quirky things about the Midwest, also some unique things about the Midwest that you might want to check out if you ever decide to come visit. You're always welcome in Michigan, that's for sure. It's a beautiful state. And so anyways, we'll be talking about the Midwest today. And so without further ado, my good buddy and my partner in crime, what's going on, Jared?
Hi, Chad. I definitely agree with you that the Midwest does have a special place in my heart. But being a favorite place and a special place are two completely different things. Nebraska
Good point.
is a Midwestern state, and it has a special place in my heart, but it's because I got pulled over there twice on two different occasions. One of the times the police searched my friend's car.
And check out our previous episode, by the way, on Copaganda.
Yeah.
If you want to hear more cop stories.
I got pulled over another time in Nebraska, other than that, too. That doesn't mean Nebraska is my favorite place. Granted, I wouldn't dislike a state because I got pulled over twice.
If it makes you feel any better, Jared, I did get pulled over in Indiana, and I'm certainly still a little salty towards Indiana as well, which is funny because one of my coworkers is from Indiana, and he's a Hoosier, and he's one of my favorite people at the office. So
I'm going to be honest with you. Nothing about the Midwest really has a special place in my heart, except for Michigan.
What about
Chicago,
aspects of Midwestern culture?
Chicago, and I would say Wisconsin has a certain something about it I like, even though I've never really been there. I've been to like the places close to Chicago. Midwestern culture. We'll talk about that later. For now, though,
all right, fair enough.
I don't want to jump the gun. For now, though, you can spread a little love, and you can follow us on our Instagram because Chad be posting. Apparently, I don't know what happened. I don't know if honestly I was concerned. I wanted to text Chad and be like, "Are you okay? Or is this you leaving to just like be like, I'm going to live in Idaho? Bye."
Yep. Hop in my van, off I go, and never see or hear from me ever again, Jared.
Check out Chad's. Check out our Instagram, Untranslatable Podcast. This is the first I've seen of the Transit Connect. Someone on our Instagram asked if you gave it a name. That's a great question. I never even thought about that. Anything? Have you thought about it since that person? Do you know who asked that question? By the way,
yeah. Shout out to my friend Kelly. She's out in Shanghai doing her thing. Teaching young minds, molding young minds, and she actually, I told her about it when I got the van a little while back, and she initially asked me that if I had any names in mind, and you know me, Jared, I'm not always the most. I can be creative, but I'm not always the most creative, and so Old Blue was one of the name ideas.
That's very rude.
Which is
be like, yeah, you're right, you're not creative.
Old Blue is one name, and
it's
that's
kind of
boring.
Though. What is it? 2013.
Well, 2013. I mean, that's coming on. That's coming on 9 years, 10 years, pretty soon.
Yeah, but you also have another car that's a 1994.
97, but yeah.
Oh, whatever. You can't have an older car that's not called old something, and then your newer car is called old something. It just doesn't really. It doesn't make any sense. That's a go-to name. That makes sense. Old Blue.
Right.
I'm not a huge fan of car names, to be honest with you.
It's
kinda
funny though
cheesy.
because a lot of the van people out there, I feel like if I
Sure.
want to be accepted into the van community, I need a cool name for it. Now, I did get had the idea, and Kelly wrote me the name. Maybe I can find it here. I asked her how to say "little blue dragon" in Chinese. She speaks Chinese fluently.
I'm thinking some play on Transit Connect, something you can do with like cross transit. I don't know.
Let's see.
I don't know. I'm
Maybe-
trying to
okay,
think
I
of some
can't-
sort of play on Transit Connect. But anyway, you can. I didn't even finish what I was going to say. You can see pictures of. Well, tell them what you did to it and what are in the pictures. No, I'm
Sure.
going to do it. I'm going to do it because I
Okay,
want to see if
go
I got
for
it.
it.
So I saw that there was the bed, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
and then there was the floor. But on top of the floor, there was like some sort of light carpeting. Not carpeting. It's not carpeting, but rug. Would you call that, or just like some sort of material that's not just wood?
Right. Yep.
But it looks like you somehow got it. Did you staple it down or nail it down? Because it looks like it's very taut, which is good.
Velcro.
Oh, Velcro. Okay, and it's strong enough where you're not concerned about. Well, this is good too. You can like take it out and clean it out easier.
That's the point.
And the Velcro is strong enough where you're not concerned about walking around and it's gonna like unhook and like come up like the corner of a bed sheet. That's cool. And
So
then
far, so good.
and then I also noticed that you got the window covers.
Yes, sir.
And they're like a sort of reflective material, like aluminum, like
Yes.
thick aluminum foil.
Aluminium.
Aluminium for
as
all
our British
of our
brothers and sisters would be
non-American
saying.
and Canadian speakers. Yeah.
So yep. I had the Reflectix is the material. It's like
The
a.
Reflectix.
It's weird because it feels kind of like
Is it heavy or weighty?
No, it
Not
feels
heavy,
like
but weightier
it feels
than
like
you might
bubble
think.
wrap that you can't pop, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Like it has kind of a crinkly feel to it.
Oh, you also have. Do those speakers work up there?
Yeah. Oh
Are
yeah.
they good? You got a lot of speakers up there.
They're not too bad.
You have also a curtain between the front row and the back row,
Yep.
and I think that's it, isn't it?
Which I did. I done goofed on the curtain because I measured it and I thought I had the correct width, and it's
It's a little
I mean,
short, but it
yeah.
works. It works for the time being.
Yeah, I may
And,
get a wider one at some point.
And also, I personally have been doing some research for your van, and I have the answer to the tires. These you're gonna have
nice.
to get some wheels too, by the way.
Oh, for sure.
But you got to go KO2s.
Okay, KO2.
That's the answer. Look up Transit Connect KO2s.
okay.
KO2, yes. It's the K bridge. I think it's a BF Goodrich is what it is. A BF Goodrich KO2. I saw some Transit Connects on them. I didn't send it to you because I figured you probably saw them. Transit Connect.
All right, let's see here.
BF Goodrich KO2.
I gotta find them. I just got sent to like this forum here. Let's see
Oh
here.
yeah. Here, I'll
Ooh,
send
these
you.
are sharp.
I'll send. Yeah, here I'll send you.
These are sharp. All right,
Yeah, dude.
16s. All right, that'll work.
It's yeah. And I guess theoretically, you don't even really honestly maybe don't get any new wheels. Just take off the hubcaps altogether. Because do you see the pictures with the steel wheels? Here,
Yeah.
I'll send you a link. I think these. I found one. A white one that just has the steel wheels, like the wheel behind the hubcap. I think it looks cool just like that. to
Just
be
with the
honest
black
you.
steel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Simple. You don't need any. There's no reason for any sort of flash to it. Just this basic steel wheel kind of looks badass with the off-road tire on.
Oh, that does look badass. I need to get my steel wheels cleaned, but yeah.
You can do that.
That looks
though.
pretty
Or you can
sharp.
even just get new steel wheels for they're the cheapest wheel you can get.
Right. Yeah, that looks pretty good.
Yeah.
$200 a pop for these tires, right?
I don't know what the exact price is. I'm not paying for them. I was just looking for cool shit.
Right. Yeah. Well, I've been looking. So the KO2s. That's good to know.
Yeah, man.
I'm probably for the rest of the summer. I'm probably going to keep driving around in these because
That's smart.
I have a lot of life left in them. But
Yeah.
I think come
Wait
the
until
fall,
Yeah, and then you'll have a winter tire essentially too.
right, which will be pretty sweet. But yeah, dude, the van, it's coming along. The last 2 days since I've got the window coverings made, that was kind of quite an experience. I felt like I was back in arts and crafts class because I could have probably just measured and made a template and doing all this. But what I did instead, Jared, was I just put the Reflectix in front of the window on the outside and just kind of sized it up and just cut a square from there and then just trimmed it as needed.
So I hear you. Next step, just thinking aesthetically, you need some sort of art in this place. I have some ideas.
Okay, let's hear them.
What do you call it? Jesus Christ,
Tapestry?
now I forgot. Solar system on the ceiling. Somehow, whether it's back in the day, when we were kids and you could get those plastic little
The stars and
things
moon
you could sort of
glow
like
in the
stick
dark.
to the roof of your or to the ceiling of your room. Oh no.
You're frozen.
Yep, there we go. You're back. Did you hear what I said? The solar system?
Yep.
I'm thinking
you mean
solar
like
system.
the glow in the dark stars.
Yeah, like back
right?
in the day, like you would put on the roof of your your bedroom, or
Right.
something like that.
The ceiling,
probably,
but yeah.
What did I say? The roof.
The roof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never went out on the roof and just instead of looking up at the actual sky, just looked down at
that'd be
the
great.
stars you stuck to your shingles. Oh yeah, to the ceiling. So you could put that to the ceiling of the van. I think that, but I think there's probably a nicer way to do it than those old school sort of chunky plastic things that barely glow in the dark.
Right.
But something like that would be nice. And then obviously on the back of you could somehow get like some sort of various, I assume, music-based posters that you find of interest and stick them to the back of the Reflectix.
Yeah. What?
But you have to turn the Reflectix both ways, don't you?
No.
No, okay. That would be a nice touch too then.
Yeah, I was thinking of that. The other thing I was thinking about for the Reflectix is putting some black like fabric on the back of them, because then if in the winter when it's cold, if I want it to get warmer on the inside, I could put the black
What does that do?
It brings the heat in. The way Reflectix works is it
That's okay.
reflects.
Okay, so that's okay. I got you. So you'd have to put like black on the outside, above the window, and then the Reflectix after that.
No. What I would do is I have my Reflectix thingy, right? Mm-hmm. On the inside facing side, what I would do is I would put some black fabric on there, like staple it or glue it. And then in the winter, oh, sorry, I had a sneeze there. In the winter, I would flip the window covers. So the black would be outward facing.
Okay. So then that's what I was asking. The answer to my initial question: would you have to turn the Reflectix?
Oh yeah, would be yes. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Would
then
be
that. Well, then we could have avoided all that, because that's what I was saying wouldn't really work as well.
You.
Because
Maybe it would be cooler though to put like some.
But then they'd be like facing outside. You don't want to attract the attention,
Right. But
but the
at
black
the same
would be
time,
over it if it was flipped that way.
Right. And at the same time, I don't really know if that's going to bring that much heat in. You know what I mean? Like, if I am going to use it in the winter, I've thought about just getting a small space heater,
especially in
a lot
these
of people
Midwestern Midwestern winters that we have here. I don't know if
No kidding.
Just putting some black to bring in some more sunlight will keep you warm through the night.
For sure. Well, Jared, I really appreciate the tire recommendation. I'm gonna have to look into this for sure for the fall. Start saving my schmeckles as we speak.
Yeah,
that's for sure. We need to set up an untranslatable van fund. Now, wouldn't that be something?
Am I contributing to it as well?
If you want to, Jared, sure. I'll gladly take.
That's
well, there are two of us for the Untranslatable podcast. I don't want to just hijack this.
Although we have been having a lot of conversation about a Miata purchase between the two of us.
I mean, an untranslatable Miata fund. I mean, shit. I would get our logo wrapped on that bad boy if we had the untranslatable Miata fund.
That's how you and I are going to travel together. I'll drive the Miata, you'll take the van, and then we'll, both sleep somehow, and then we'll like take the Miata somewhere. Oh my God,
we just gotta build the Miata setup like that guy's Porsche setup.
Oh yeah,
with the tent.
But you can't put a roof tent on a Miata.
We gotta get a hard top. Problem solved. Just get a hard top.
But even the hard top Miatas are still convertible based. Like none of them are hardtop from the factory, so you couldn't put a tent on top of it. But I don't mind sleeping outside. You're bougie. You're the one with the van. I've actually recently been seeing some pretty wild tents where one, you don't even have to construct these bitches anymore. They just pop open. But then now
nice.
also they're like these like cubes. Like I saw these cube things. I can't even explain it because I just happened to see it on this guy's Twitter, and so I excuse me, I'm drinking a topo. You're sneezing. I wouldn't mind sleeping in a tent if it meant I could drive the Miata.
For sure.
I'm not. I don't have as many requirements like you.
I just want a comfy bed, Jared. That's all I want. Comfy bed and a fan, and then I'm happy.
Oh, and a fan. You want that fan in winter?
Hey, if it can blow some hot air on me, sure. Why not? Keep me warm.
That's fair. That's fair.
Why not?
Do you I don't even know. Do you have any love that you would like to have spread?
Not no. We can save it. We can save it for the next one. Let's get into some untranslatables.
Yeah, dude.
And I'm looking forward though, Jared, in the future to give you and everyone else some van updates. But let's do some untranslatables, which are idioms, proverbs, sayings, axioms that don't always translate on a one-to-one basis into English. And we are your tried and true untranslatable professionals. And I will get us started today, Jared, with a French untranslatable. And faire tout un fromage.
Something about all the cheese.
To make cheese out of it.
Toot. Okay, I thought toot would be like all, like toot or a lot of. To make cheese out of it?
Yes, to make cheese out of it.
Oh, that's like to make lemonade out of lemons.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Nope.
I know French people love cheese.
I would say this
to make cheese out of it. To mess it up. You really made a cheese of it there, Johnson.
Kind of.
You really cheesed it up.
We use this one would be like to make mountains.
Oh, you really okay. So can you give me the literal again? To make to make a molehill out of mountains out of a molehill. Could you give me the literal again though?
To make cheese out of it. This is according to
and so that means
optlingo.com.
And that means to make a big deal out of something, essentially.
Yeah, to overreact. Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. Which go ahead.
No, please. What were you about to say?
Well, I was just going to say, I think some Midwesterners can overreact about certain things.
Sure. Hey, have you considered even just going to like the Dexter National Park or not national? It's not a national park. The Dexter State Park or whatever they call it, and sleeping overnight there.
Mm-hmm. There's a couple spots actually I've been looking at around here. Just for
just go look every now and again, then go back home to your bed.
That's right.
That would be a nice spot. All right, well, going home. My first untranslatable is French as well, and it's le doigt dans le nez. Le doigt dans le nez. Le doigt dans le nez.
Which means again?
Fingers in the nose. Again, I never said the first time.
Sorry.
Fingers in the nose.
Fingers in the nose.
Mm-hmm.
Is this like to put your foot in the? Is this like to put your foot in your mouth?
I never really knew what that meant, but the answer is no. But I never. What does that even really mean? Does that mean like to say the wrong thing?
Yeah, basically, yeah. To say
the
wrong
thing. I put my foot
thing
in my mouth in that situation where it's
you
like,
said something you shouldn't have.
How? So if I were to be like, wow, how long until you're due for your? How long until the baby's due? And then it's like, what? I'm not pregnant.
Yeah.
That's putting your foot in your mouth?
Probably. I would say so.
I never really understood if that's what it actually meant. Anyway, to put your finger in your nose, le doigt dans le nez, is not...
Give me a clue here, Jared. Jart.
Okay, well, if you were to tell me to if you were to tell me to, oh geez, this is tough. If you were to tell me to explain this untranslatable, I would say, it's just I'll just put my finger in my nose. But
taking a guess, taking a stab at it.
Easy. There you go.
Piece of cake.
Yes, that's exactly the untranslatable I was looking for, and that I have written down right here.
Easy
piece
peasy
of
lemon
cake.
squeezy. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right.
It's interesting. we're not. I wish we could sometime go back and actually figure out how you managed to get the answer piece of cake based off of my description, because my description was so terrible and had no relation to piece of cake. Yet somehow you came to it, and I was like, okay, I guess that worked.
It's called chemistry, baby.
I sure.
Teamwork.
Yeah, you could just feel what I was. The irony was how
smelling what you were stepping in.
I was trying to somehow use the finger in the nose untranslatable while also highlighting the irony of how difficult it currently was for me to try to give you an example of how to properly use find an example for it. But, I'm not that smart.
Maybe it was meta enough to work or something. Who knows?
Okay.
Who knows, Jared? Who knows?
Please.
Let me give you an Arabic one. This is a good one.
I will let you.
Eza kan habibak asal mataklush kolo. If your lover is honey, don't lick at all.
Don't take them for granted.
I'll
Don't
give it
take
to
your
you.
significant
I'll
other
give
for
it to
granted.
You. Yeah. This one I think more specifically means don't take advantage of someone, of their kindness, or of someone who loves you.
I'm going to say that's the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it's the same thing.
I'd give it to you.
That's true. You did say you'd give it to me. I didn't need to clarify that. I earned that. But I earned that.
I'm right. I already told you were right.
All right. I have one more translatable, and it's Vietnamese, and it's Ramon Ra Koai. To differentiate, the taro from the sweet potato. I believe taro is corn.
So it's like not being able. What's the phrase we have in English? Not being able to tell the difference between. Oh, what is that? What's the idiom? I've heard it before.
Oh, a taro is like a root vegetable. It kind of Actually, it's not corn. It kind of looks like a white potato or a sweet potato maybe, but it's like a root. But it's not. I was thinking. Okay, I see. They call it a korma. For its edible corms, that's what it's known for. And I think when I saw that, I was like, "Oh, corn." And moved on with my life. And I was like, oh, no, this thing, it looks like a potato, essentially. So they're saying the difference between this root vegetable that looks like a potato and to differentiate this root vegetable that looks like a potato from a sweet potato.
That's
Chad,
you're clueless.
Let me differentiate this taro from a sweet potato for you.
Let me explain it.
These things look very similar. Let me slow down and differentiate the taro from the sweet potato. How would we say that in English?
Let me break it down for you.
Yeah, okay, sure. You're not going to get it, but you got it. But you're not getting the untranslatable I was looking for to make it crystal clear.
Oh, okay.
It's like these things look exactly very similar. So I'm going to make it very clear to you which one is the sweet potato and which one is the taro. Taro, I don't know how you say it.
Okay.
Hi, my name's Taro. That's what I named my first kid. Taro.
There we go. Well, perfect. Well, I think that we can call it on Untranslatables for today. But actually, no, I shouldn't say that, because I think it'd be fun, Jared, to talk about some Midwestern untranslatables real quick to segue into our main topic for today. And I think number one, Jared, this is a term that I use and Jared does not use, and it definitely sets Jared apart from his Midwestern brothers and sisters. What word might that be, Jared?
I imagine you're alluding to the word pop.
Very good, sir. Very good.
I used the word a cold beverage. No, I'm kidding. I used the word so. Yeah, I call everything a Coca-Cola. That's
there. We go. I didn't know you were a Texan. Okay,
paying homage to my Southern family. No, I call it soda.
I'll have a Coke. What kind?
I don't even really know why I call it soda. Granted, I'm a Midwestern person at heart, I guess, but I did spend a lot of my formative years in Europe, like in Germany. So maybe that has something to do with, that kind of threw off my general dialect a little bit, I think. I don't know why I call it soda. I can't tell you if I was calling it pop before that. Probably. I don't remember that far back. I don't remember this morning, to be honest with you. I'm hammered right now. So first of all, let's clarify, what is the Midwest, Chad? What are we when we say the Midwest?
You can look right behind me, Jared. Our viewers on YouTube can take a quick look.
Perfect that Iowa is fully covered.
Yeah, hey, that's okay. That's all right.
Perfect. That
The
Kansas and
stereotype,
Missouri are
it's
fully
all
covered.
corn. It's all cornfields there, anyways. At least that's the stereotype, right? But yeah, so the Midwest is a region in the U.S. Spanning from Michigan and Ohio, westward all the way out to I believe North and South Dakota, right?
It's funny that you make a point that you start with Michigan because clearly Ohio is more west, or excuse me, more east than
Hey, we're
than
pretty
Michigan.
far north, other
So
than the Dakotas.
So you have to pull. You still have to mention
Wisconsin.
Michigan, even though we're not the most east and we're not the most north. We are in the Midwest, yet you have to call us out. We're showing our biases. Oh, not we. Chad's showing his biases. I'm trying to say.
I love my home state, Jared. What can I say?
So it involves Ohio. Apparently Kentucky. We did some talk about the Deep South the other day, and then we also obviously talked about the South. I think Kentucky is South. I'm going to say Kentucky's South. I don't know what your map says. If you scoot over, maybe it would show if it includes Kentucky or other way. It does not include Kentucky. Okay, I just have a map here that does include Kentucky. I agree with your map that doesn't show Kentucky. I think Kentucky's the South because I think once you get into southern Indiana, southern Ohio, you already start getting the southern vibes.
Oh, for sure.
So Indiana's Midwest for sure. Illinois, Wisconsin, Iowa,
Minnesota,
Missouri, Kansas, Nebraska, North Dakota, South Dakota.
Yep. Sounds about right to me.
I don't have any love for the Midwest. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Okay. Why is that?
Because there's nothing. The Midwest. A lot of the stereotypes I sort of I guess agree with. But it's funny as I'm saying all this, I write down notes before this of these things that come to mind about the topic. The first note that I have written down is most underappreciated and least talked about part of America. As I'm just sitting here shitting
Midwest. Well, I think it's because the Midwest is kind of your.
Well, there's a term. What's the term that
flyover states?
Yeah, that's the insult term for the Midwest is the flyover states.
Right.
And it's essentially saying that you only fly over those states to get to the West Coast or the East
York.
Coast. Yeah, to where all the coastal elites are.
Right, or go down to my jammy.
But I would say that the Midwest has even less of sort of an identity than or even less identity. I'd say even less of a popularity than the South. Right. The South gets a bad rep, but I feel like the South has more going for it than the Midwest.
I don't know why though, Jared, but when I think of the Midwest, I do kind of think of like small town America is like a very Midwest thing.
Yeah, when I think of the Midwest, I think of what. It always got to. I think of what when white people think of what America's supposed to be. This is what America's all about. I think when people say this is what America's all about, or like the heartland of America in these videos where they try to, or commercials where they make it seem like, hey, respect where your milk comes from. It's sort of like the Midwest certainly gets this vibe of it's like. Hey, you might forget about us, but you couldn't survive without us. That's always the Midwest's sort of claim. Especially Nebraska, Iowa, Kansas, these places where they're just known for this sort of endless farmland. Where it's like, yeah, but where would you get all that frozen corn, or where would you get all that?
Where you
whatever
getting all them taters?
Yeah, which
taters
is true, I guess. I mean, that's
Jared.
True.
If you've ever been to Five Guys, you can see which town and city from Iowa or Idaho you got your taters.
I've never voluntarily gone into Five Guys. I've never gone in kicking and screaming. Let me be clear, but I've only been there a handful of times, and it's because someone wanted to go.
You were
there.
schmammered.
Yeah, you know what? I'll be right back. No, just because someone else I was with wanted to go, and I was like, yeah, sure, okay. But yeah, so I like, but I would also say it gets like a very it's similar to this. It gets There are crossover cultural aspects to like the South, as far as the aggressively friendly. You know, I had to take my car to the shop this morning for something, and I was it's right around the corner, so I dropped it off and I was walking home. Something you wouldn't understand in your stereotypical Midwestern town of Dexter. If you dropped off your car at a shop and walked home,
long walk.
people would be like, "Oh no, there's something wrong with this boy."
Yep.
I guess you're not a boy; you're almost 30. Anyway, I was now I don't even remember what I was walking home from this place, and
Somebody
people,
pulled over and said, "Hey, Jared, you want to ride?"
No, that's the YouTube clip version. No, but people like multiple people were like, "Morning."
Yep.
And I'm like, "Morning," and I'm like, I don't know these people. We're just crossing on the street.
Right.
And there's this insistence on saying
You should have just said that. I don't know you. I don't need to tell you good morning.
You know, sometimes in Philadelphia, maybe that's the benefit of being in Philadelphia. If someone says morning, you can just keep walking,
just punch them
and pretend like, "Hey, fuck you, man. Hey, get out of here. What are we, married?"
Oh,
keep
man.
walking, eh?
That Midwestern friendliness, though, is certainly a thing. I mean, I've had so many people, like I was telling my students, we'll have to talk about that for the next episode tomorrow. I had some good questions last week from my students. So
about the Midwest?
No.
Oh, I was like, because now seems like the time.
No. Did they ask me? I mean, they asked me about...
Do people ever ask you about, in all the sort of AMAs that you've done, no one's ever asked you about your hometown?
Michigan-specific stuff. Yeah, they asked me about Michigan-specific stuff.
And then you ask them, what do they know about Michigan, I imagine?
No, what I do is I flip the script and I say, "Tell me about your hometown."
Oh, okay.
Because if I were to ask them to ask
what do
me
you know about what do you know about the Michigan?
And they would say, "I know my teacher lives there," and that's probably all.
Right.
And
Yeah,
they might
would
say,
just
"I
be
know there's
silence.
some big lakes," and that's probably it.
Well, that's good. That's something.
Yep, exactly. I did tell them about Michigan being the mitten state, and I showed them how we, point to where we're from on our hand.
Yeah. If I were to say to you, Chad, that I think Michigan is, I would say that Michigan is kind of I'm not even gonna say it.
Say it.
We're kind of an outlier in the Midwest a little bit.
Okay. Can you explain why?
No, but I will say this. I would say the two best. What do you think is the best Midwestern state? You're gonna say Michigan, I imagine.
See, I don't think I could give you an actual answer because I haven't spent a lot of time at the other Midwestern states. I would say though, Jared, if I had to pick, to be honest with you, I think Chicago might be the reason why Illinois might take the cake. Chicago is an amazing city.
Chicago's an amazing city. But
Detroit's pretty awesome too, but it's very different than Chicago.
But I'm not going to choose the best state based off of one city, because outside of Chicago, you know nothing about Illinois. I imagine.
Yeah,
I'm only saying that because I know nothing about Illinois.
Right. No, that's completely true.
My cousin is going to. Well, he's not in med school. He's a doctor at the University of Illinois. No idea, any idea where that could be at all.
Yeah,
I know nothing.
Is that in Champaign?
Oh, very good. It is, actually,
Okay.
yes. I only know that now because he just told me. And I forgot, and then you said it, and I saw it on the map because I have a map in front of me, and I was like, I think that is where it was.
Yeah.
My answer is Michigan, and I'll tell you why. First of all, we have the Great Lakes.
Mm-hmm.
We have multiple great cities, by the way. We have Detroit. We have Grand Rapids. We have the Upper Peninsula, which is a whole different vibe entirely from us trolls down here.
And that is what we're called by the Yoopers.
We have access to Canada. I could be, if there wasn't a pandemic, I could be in Canada in 20 minutes.
Yep.
I went to East Detroit, and I went to just a normal, not special park on Lake St. Clair, and I was looking across at Canada. I love that. I think that's so cool.
It's actually my virtual background for work is the Detroit River.
Oh, there you go. Very nice. And I think that we have a lot of great sort of a lot of great food inventions come from here too. We are the home of trash pizza, by the way. Little Caesars, and I know you're gonna say Jets and stuff, but I'm talking about like national chains. Little Caesars, Domino's, both Michigan. And those are just the ones that are national. There are a whole bunch of other trash pizzas that we have. Hungry Howie's. I don't know where that goes.
And
but
we have. That's the funny thing about the Midwest as well, though, Jared, is just the range of different styles of pizza.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we also pizza as well. Beers, we also known for a lot of microbrews.
Actually, I just got I was actually going to crack it open before the episode, and I just didn't have the
Oberon?
time. No, it's a new Bell's beer. It's called No, Yeah.
I have an Oberon.
Oh, nice.
Well, I don't have an Oberon now, but I bought Oberon, and I was going to crack one, and I forgot too. We should have done that.
But yes, craft beers are certainly a very Midwestern thing.
I'm obviously praising Michigan because that's where I'm from. Oh, also, you know why? Because Michigan tends to go blue more than a lot of these other states. So I guess Illinois goes blue too because of Chicago. But I'm also going to put that in there because I'm a team. I would
say
player.
The other reason why Michigan might be number one, or at least my arguments would be. Just like all the beachfront and like great summer vacation spots we have in our state.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, like you mentioned, the food for sure. Lots of great food. The other thing too, though, Jared, that I'm very surprised you didn't mention. I mean, Detroit is the Motor City. I mean, this is the place if you're into cars. Michigan's a good state, I think, for cars.
That's true. Another aspect to the culture in general is and we have. I would say I'm looking around. So there's obviously Chicago that we've talked about as far as great locations, but I'm going to say sport wise, I think Detroit's probably going to be outside of Chicago. Detroit's might has to be one of the top sports cities, because there's no other Midwestern state. Well, maybe Ohio is pretty good too, actually, but Ohio sucks outside of that. I'm just kidding. I can't help it. I cannot help it.
It's like something in your blood. If you spent enough time in Michigan, I don't know what it is. Must be something in the water, and you just we hate on Ohio for no reason other than Ohio being
as
Ohio.
As a Michigander, I'm not just going to sit here and say Michigan is the best state, and I'm also not going to say Illinois is just because of Chicago, because Chicago is an amazing city, but that's it. I don't know anything else about
Jared.
I have another state is what I'm going to say that I think is a contender for top state, and I would be willing to have some sort of impartial sort of judge come in and judge it, and I would accept their judgment. If I approved of their credentials and we had a shared agreement on this judge between whoever I'm doing this competition.
Anyways, let's hear.
Can you think of the state that I'm thinking
Ohio.
of? No, come on.
It's not. Okay.
No.
Wisconsin.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay.
I think Wisconsin is in the running.
And why?
I'm not
the
from
great
there.
Cheese?
So they do have a lot of good cheese in Wisconsin. Also, a lot of great beers. A big beer. Also, a giant microbrew location. Also, it's not surrounded by lake. Actually, they do have Lake Superior. I didn't even notice that. But let's be honest, Lake Michigan is the best of the Great Lakes, and so Wisconsin has a lot of access to Lake Michigan. Which is, as I mentioned, the greatest lake. And I would say, even though Wisconsin doesn't have any sort of like hot cities, like big cities like Chicago or maybe even Detroit, I would say, they do have some good like Ann Arbor, Grand Rapids sized cities like Madison, probably bigger than Ann Arbor and Grand Rapids. But I've heard a lot of great things about Madison. Also, Milwaukee, heard a lot of good things about Milwaukee. Yeah. Also, Green Bay, heard a lot of good things about Green Bay. So I think I don't know enough about Wisconsin. I've only been to some of the areas that are super close to Chicago.
Right.
But from what I've heard about Wisconsin, I'd say that they're in the running. And I'm trying to be impartial. I'd say they're in the running.
All right, let me try something here, Jared. I am going to argue for Ohio being number one in the Midwest, and we'll see what you think. So take your Michigander bias aside. Put it on your side table for now, Jared. You can pick it up after I'm done.
I'm looking at it right now.
So
it's a Calvin peeing on an Ohio
there we
bumper
go.
sticker.
Nice. You definitely see those around here in Michigan, that's for sure. All right, so number one, I would say that actually some parts of southern Ohio are actually really gorgeous, like nature-wise.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. I would actually say that eastern Ohio is really gorgeous, like the area because where I went close to Pittsburgh in Lebanon, Ohio, was gorgeous, and it was beautiful, hilly sort of backcountry. It wasn't farm town, but it was more like woodsy.
Right. I will pick woodsy over farm town any day.
Of course,
any day. All right. Also, the cities that are in Ohio are actually pretty good. Like Cincinnati's not too bad.
Right. Columbus is a solid
Cleveland's
city.
not okay. Not okay. Cleveland's not too bad.
You're right.
And Columbus is pretty cool. My sister lives around there.
And I would say, I would say, as far as sports goes, Ohio's got rivals Michigan and Illinois. But really, once again, Illinois. When we say Illinois, we're not saying Illinois. When we're saying
Chicago.
Sports, we're saying Chicago because what other sports teams are in Illinois that aren't Chicago-based teams?
I'm trying to think. Other than college teams, I don't think there are any.
This is why. This is why we can't get.
That's the same with Detroit in Michigan and Columbus in Ohio, I guess, right? Well, no, because Ohio, they have Cleveland. There's an NFL team, an NBA. They have Cleveland Cavaliers.
They have. Oh yeah, actually, actually, I'm gonna give it. Actually, I might give it to Ohio. You're right. They have two NFL teams. They have Cincinnati and they have Cleveland. Right. And then they also have a baseball team. Do they have a hockey team?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Columbus Blue Jackets.
Okay,
I've actually been to their stadium.
I don't know a lot about hockey, but that sounds like an expansion team. That does not sound like it has the provenance.
That's a legit. No, they're actually not too bad.
They're no. But an expansion team in the sense that they're not an original NHL team like the Red Wings or the Blackhawks.
There were only 6 original ones.
Yeah, but the 2 of them are
Chicago
the Blackhawks
and
so
Detroit.
We're trying to figure out sports provenance here.
Right.
Yes, they do have a hockey team, but they don't have the provenance of the Detroit and Chicago teams, I would say.
Right.
So yeah, but in general, I would agree with you. I would say sports wise, Ohio rivals Illinois and Michigan. You're right. You know what?
Yeah.
Do they?
Another pro for Ohio though, too, buddy. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is in Cleveland. That's a pretty cool museum.
Yeah. You know when I think of the Rock and Roll Hall, yeah, okay. We have the DIA, okay?
Have you seen the Cincinnati Institute of Art?
No, it's probably
great. It's gorgeous.
I'm sure it's great.
I've been there. It's great. It's great.
Yeah, no, okay. Ohio's good.
We just shit on it too much, just being from Michigan, but it.
Do you think? I feel like Michigan gets more. In general, the Midwest gets the least publicity in the United States. It's the least respected of all the sectors. East Coast and West Coast obviously are the coastal elites. The South, I feel like, gets a lot more attention because there's a lot more fun locations. There's a lot of fun locations.
Atlanta
in the South. Atlanta, a lot of Florida locations
New
are
Orleans.
fun. South Carolina, North Carolina, a lot of fun locations in these places. The Midwest is the least respected. Nothing fun outside of Chicago is what people say.
Right.
Fly over it all except for Chicago.
Except for sports and food. Speaking of food, Jared.
That's what I was going to say. I don't know what food comes from Ohio. At least in Wisconsin, I could name cheese and beer.
Right. I think they have pretty good pretzels there, too, actually, in Wisconsin. I've heard.
What,
because the Germans.
Like a Utz?
Like a what?
Like a Utz?
What is an
Utz? Not a Orida. Ryder? What do you mean Utz?
I've never heard of those.
It's a brand. You mean like a crunchy pretzel? Like a pretzel in a bag that you...
I think like a German pretzel. Like a big, soft pretzel.
Oh, like a bretzel.
Yeah, ein Brezel.
Okay.
Genau.
I imagine they're not as common as... I imagine you can't just go to your local... sort of, like their Tim Hortons or Dunkin' Donuts. Listen, if we're going to have a Dunkin' Donuts in Wisconsin, we got to have pretzels on this thing or else no one's going to come to this place.
That's right.
I'm going to bet it's not like that. Just guessing.
People protesting in the streets.
Anyway, do you know any Ohio foods?
No.
Exactly. So I think that's where they lack.
Speaking of Michigan foods, though, Jared, let's talk about number one. I think a very common one that most Michiganders know of, and I think a lot of other Midwesterners, and they pronounce this food right as well, is ponchki or punchki, depending on who you ask.
Yeah, that is a popular. Is that a Michigan thing or a Detroit thing?
I think it's a Michigan thing because
Okay.
I mean, even
I
out
thought it
in
was,
Dexter.
Okay, well, yeah, but you're pretty close to Detroit. I thought it was like a more of a Polish thing.
It
I always
is
thought
a
that,
Polish thing.
I always thought that was like a thing that sort of like started in Hamtramck,
It
which
might
is where
have.
there was a large population of Polish.
Right.
people.
It
But I
might
just kind
have.
of made that up in my head. I don't even know.
Right.
Let me. Can we do a pizza off real quick?
Sure.
Detroit style pizza for Chicago style pizza.
Can you explain what Detroit style pizza is to the people?
Detroit style pizza is a square pizza, and there are no middle pieces. So in a Detroit style pizza, you're not going to get any of those pieces where there's no crust on it. First of all, which is an important point because I hate those pieces. But it's also sort of the crust is kind of crunchy and it's thick, but not like a Chicago style. And it's layered where the sauce tends to be on top of the cheese for whatever reason.
For Chicago, you mean?
No, for Detroit as well.
style, really?
Yeah. What are you talking about? Yeah, of course.
Then I clearly don't know what Detroit style pizza is. Let me look this up. Thought I did. Apparently not.
The sauce tends to be on top.
Okay.
It's like not fully on top, but it's sort of like half on top. Just type in Detroit style pizza, and look, the
Yeah, I
sauce is
see
on
it.
top.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
It seems like you're staring at it, and you're not willing to just say, "Oh yeah, it is on top," and move on.
No, it totally. No, it
Look
totally
at the
is
way
on
you're
top.
staring at it. You're really analyzing it. I feel like it's clearly on top.
I am because I've lived in Michigan all my life, and I've had like Jets deep dish pizza, which looks like this, but it doesn't have the sauce on top like that. That looks good. My mind is blown, Jared.
Jets is, to be fair, Jets is trash level Detroit style pizza. No offense. I mean, that's just like fast food pizza. If I'm going to recommend, if someone's going to come to Detroit and be like, all right, point me to the best Detroit style pizza in Detroit, if you led them to Jets, that would be rude.
So where would you lead them, Jared?
I mean, I don't know, but Jets is like the same level as like Hungry Howie's or like Domino's.
According to Google, Jared, you could lead them to Detroit Style Pizza Co. or Nicky's.
I've heard of Nicky's. I've actually been to Nicky's before. I believe Nicky's is in Greektown, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, there's a club above Nicky's. I remember I went there one time.
You
and
went
there
to
was
a club?
No, I went to Nicky's, the restaurant. The club was above Nicky's,
Okay.
or is above Nicky's, and it was like a grown and sexy night, and you could hear like all these oldies jams, and
Nice.
it sounded like a damn party up there, bro. And I got some Detroit style pizza.
Nice.
So yeah, okay. And Chicago style pizza is a damn catastrophe. Chicago style pizza, first of all, is circular, and it's very thick, and it's
it's like a damn pizza cake, bro.
And so I'm trying to figure out how these layers even fully work. So is it crust, cheese,
sauce? Yeah.
So it's like a solid inch of just cheese. Is that really how that thing? Oh,
I
and then
think
also
so.
if you get toppings, they also put it in the middle. They don't put them on top. And then so on top is just the sauce.
Yep.
And then below the sauce is the cheese and toppings, and then obviously below is the crust.
Do
but
they
there's a
do
lot
that
of cheese.
to keep the crust crunchy? Like, I've always wondered, what's the point
No,
of putting
because
this...
Detroit style pizza is crunchy, or you can get Italian style, or just like a New York style pizza is crunchy. That's not why they do it. They do it because they're in the Midwest, and the Midwesterners are gluttonous heathens. You can buy there's on this website. You can buy a 2-pack of frozen Chicago style pizzas for $79.
Oh, God.
And it's probably
It's going to take you a week to eat those two damn pizza
I mean, that
pies.
would last you. That's a meal for a week. That's actually a bargain.
For
And
sure.
I remember whenever I went to Chicago, and you've been with me in some of these situations. You go to the Chicago style pizza place. You eat one slice, and you're stuffed. But you ate one slice that doesn't. In our pizza eating heads, that makes no sense. So you
Right.
eat another slice, and as soon as you move on to the second slice, it's a just straight on body destruction.
Oh, for sure. You can't
the itis. It's
don't
terrible.
Don't expect to get anything done after
It's the
eating
worst.
2 slices of Chicago style pizza.
And
Forget it.
A popular thing you hear is you'll hear the New Yorkers bag on Chicago style pizza, and I 100% agree with them. New York style pizza is 1,000 times better than Chicago style pizza. I'll eat Chicago style pizza when I go there because pizza in general is not like you'd have to piss on pizza for it to be terrible pizza. It's not bad. It's not bad, but like as far as pizza goes, it's lowest rung.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to think of.
No
now,
offense.
I mean, I need to try Detroit style now to actually really say, but
yes, because I feel like the only Detroit style you've experienced is Jets,
and that's
which
not,
is a fine,
that's not legit.
which is fine shit pizza. As far as shit pizza goes, it's delicious,
but totally delicious.
But you can't point a tourist to Jets pizza.
No. Oh no, for sure. Well, honestly though, one aspect of the Midwest that I would maybe point a tourist to would be you got to go to Coney Island. Now, obviously, you don't go there for the tastiest.
Now, is this episode about Michigan or the Midwest?
The Midwest.
Okay.
Aren't we talking about the Midwest?
Yeah, I mean Michigan, but it's just interesting that you go to Coney Island. Because when I think of Coney Island, Coney dogs, which are hot dogs, and they have the chili sauce over them. Would you say Coney dogs? Yeah, would you say Coney dogs are like nationally known? I would say as far as Midwestern food goes, a highlight is barbecue in Kansas City.
Oh yeah,
I would say that's a top level national food right there as far as like noticeability. I don't know if you could put the barbecue that is known that people are always talk about in like Kansas up against like a Coney dog. I feel like that's more of like a local treasure,
Yeah, you're probably right. You are probably right.
I'm trying to think of some other foods that's the actually I would say a popular stereotype of the Midwest is that our food sucks and that it's all like super heavy.
It's all unhealthy.
Yeah, exactly. We are not known for our healthy foods. That's fair. But I would say we are known for our beers. I'll give us that.
Yep.
Because I would also say
is that food and that beer tasty though, Jared?
Because as far as I know, I think Minnesota is also pretty filled up with microbrews up there too.
I believe it.
How would you think if you were to look outside in? Because I know if I just ask you, like, what do you think of this about the Midwest? You say, it's the greatest thing ever. If you were to look outside in as someone that maybe is a coastal elite in one of these hot shot cities out on the coast somewhere, how would you think that they would describe our weather here in the Midwest?
Oh, our weather? All over the place.
Here's another area where I think we're lucky as Midwesterners.
The 4 seasons.
No, excuse me. I meant to say we're lucky as Michiganders. We don't get tornadoes to the level of a lot of those real flyover states like Nebraska, Iowa, Missouri, Kansas, Illinois. That's real tornado country out there.
I mean, they call it Tornado Alley for a reason.
We don't really have any serious. I mean, snow the more north you get, but as far as Michigan goes, I think that's another place where we're privileged as a Midwestern state. We don't really have any serious weather concerns like that, or natural disasters, I should say. Like we in my day when I was a kid, there were tornado watches. There was a warning here or there where they made us sit in some sort of basement hallway, or not a basement. That seems like a terrible idea. Some sort of hallway, tornado safe hallway or something. Then nothing happens, or it rains hard for a bit. But there's no real. I've never experienced a real tornado that's like this thing whipped up my barn and now half my barn is in my kitchen and my cow is cross country in Topeka.
I don't think we get tornadoes nearly as bad in Michigan, but there are definitely some places like you mentioned that get some crazy tornadoes. I will say though, our weather in Michigan, I was talking to a coworker of mine about this, like the kind of stereotypical phrase, well, if you don't like the weather, just wait 5 minutes, because the weather does change quite a bit in Michigan.
Sure, yeah, I would say so.
And we can go from like a week where we'll have
that's
rain,
only
snow,
during
70 degrees.
Times, though. I would say that's only in the transitionary periods between going to winter and then the transitionary periods of going to spring, where like now I was talking to my dad today, and I was like, just because it's April does not mean you can count out that there won't be at least one more snow happening.
Oh, there will
this
for
year.
sure be one more, probably.
But I guess that's sort of the benefit of global warming is that our snow's like here in the like in the Metro Detroit area and like the southeast Michigan, our winters have been mild for the past few years. Mm-hmm. At least since I've been in Michigan, it's been pretty weak as far as winters have gone in comparison. At least when I was a kid. So, we're all dying, so that's cool. At least it's making it so it's easier to get to work. But there's a pandemic too, so it doesn't matter anyway. What else would you like to say about the Midwest, Chad?
So I'd like
Not
to just talk about.
Not just
I would like
Michigan.
to talk about some like, you're from the Midwest when.
Okay.
So here we go, Jared. And you feel
Some
free to
Larry
add.
the Cable Guys.
Exactly.
Oh, no, not Larry
Jeff
the Cable
Fox.
Guy.
Excuse
Thank
me,
you.
sir. Jeff Foxworth.
Yeah, the wrong redneck.
That's right. All right, you might be a Midwesterner when, Jared, it's 50 degrees out and you put your shorts on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I live that life as a Midwesterner with family in Louisiana. Almost every time I go to Louisiana during winter, it's a vacation for it's the weather is like a treat no matter what it is. Even if it's in the 30s and 40s, it's still like at least it's not in the 10s or whatever.
Right. Exactly.
But usually it's like in the 50s and 60s. And most of my family's wearing jackets, and I'm like got like a
Tank
light
top
sweater
on.
I'm like, this is great. This is wonderful. This is what people should be begging for, especially you guys in the South.
Right.
But yeah, that's true. That's true. And also, I think we're certainly. Well, there's probably some of this in the East Coast too, but we're also. But I bet you there's. I'd imagine there's more of it here in the Midwest of the wearing shorts in winter. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's more of a Midwestern thing even than an East Coast thing for some reason.
Right. Although there will always be that one random dude wearing shorts in negative 20 degree weather.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Is I think that's more of a Midwestern quirk. Would you call it?
Yeah, I would say so. All right, Jared. Next one. You might be an. Maybe some of our Southern brothers and sisters can agree with this. I'm not sure, but you might be a Midwesterner if you're playing cornhole during a tailgate at a Big Ten sporting event.
I think cornhole is a specifically a Midwestern thing. I don't know if
I think so too.
I don't know if our Southern brethren can relate to that.
Maybe not.
To be honest,
maybe
with
not.
You.
I don't know what they do. Have we done an episode about tailgate culture before? That might be a fun one.
I think we might have. Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe not.
We're almost 300 deep, Jared.
We
so
did
it's
an on the
definitely
road
possible.
again. We did an on the road again where I did a tailgate at a U of M game, and that was fun.
You had some funny stories from that one, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I had one of the pictures that I posted for that was a guy doing a keg
stand, right? Yeah.
And I think also someone throwing up on their front lawn.
Yep, you snuck that one too. I'm pretty sure that's on our Instagram somewhere.
Yeah.
So check that out.
That is.
Untranslatable Podcast.
That is.
All right, Jared. Well, this one goes without saying, especially as a Michigander. You might be, I was about to say you might be a redneck when. You might be a Midwesterner when you are looking forward to having a coney dog.
Sure.
You might be a Midwesterner, Jared, when you know that puppy chow that your friends brought to the soccer game is not actually intended for puppies.
Yes.
What is puppy chow, Jared?
Puppy chow are the corn. What do you call them? Corn
Like cereal.
Corn checks.
Mm-hmm.
And they're. I don't even know how it really works. I mean, they're powdered, but they're somehow also like stuffed with chocolate.
Chocolate. Yeah,
But
I think
how do you
it's
get
just
the chocolate inside?
melted
of them?
chocolate. It's
They
just
melt.
melted
That's
chocolate.
how it gets
yeah.
inside.
Yep.
Okay. Oh yeah, because they're kind of like covered with chocolate. Yeah, they're just corn. That's what they are.
They're
corn,
delicious.
corn checks that are covered with chocolate and powdered sugar, essentially.
Saw a recipe for a Nutella puppy chow. That might be pretty good. That might be pretty good. You might be from the Midwest when you walk home and you say good morning or hello to a bunch of random strangers.
Yeah, I did that today.
That's for sure. Let's see here. What's some other Midwest? I'm trying to think of a couple other ones. You might be a Midwesterner though, Jared. If you get hit by crap tons of snow.
Yeah, but that's not. I think that's unfair to make that a Midwestern thing.
Is it though?
Yeah, because the East Coast gets
That's
blasted
true.
with snow.
Okay, that's
Even
true.
a lot of the West Coast does. Colorado, Utah, Wyoming, Montana,
Right.
parts of California. I don't know if snow is necessarily a Midwestern thing.
I mean, it's not a uniquely one, I guess, but we do get a lot of snow.
For sure.
Anyways, you might be a Midwesterner, Jared. Oh, I just forgot it. 1 second. Maybe I can find it here. Oh, you might be a Midwesterner, Jared, if you look up the price of plane tickets and you realize, oh, it's only an 8-hour drive. I'll just drive there. I feel like that is a very Midwestern thing, like going on longer road trips.
Now I'm supposed to be doing yes and, I guess, but I don't feel like that's a Midwestern thing either. Because I feel like if you were in Texas, I feel like that's a Texas thing for sure. Where it's
a necessity for Texas, though, probably.
What do you mean out of necessity?
Well, I guess you probably could fly from Austin to like San Antonio.
I feel like to them, like 3-4 hour drives are no big deal.
Right.
But sure, I mean that's definitely a thing here too. I think that's an American thing, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it could be.
I'm terrible at this.
You might be a Midwesterner, Jared.
Just say yes.
If your tennis shoes are not actually for playing tennis.
Yes, and our style in general is terrible. I would say that's a stereotype in general.
What? Yeah, what would be Midwestern style? Hoodie, jeans, and some Nikes or some Adidas.
Our style is non-existent. To be honest with you, like I feel like we are known for not really. Like even concerning ourselves with
we don't have that that Beijing China drip, that's for sure. Remember that post on Instagram?
Oh, yes, I do. And
people
we don't.
Hella fly.
Yeah.
You might be a Midwesterner when lake towns are a great place for a short summer vacation.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Yeah. I'm so I'm used to the going up north.
Yep, that's a very Michigan
popular
thing.
Here in Michigan, going up north is what people always say.
You might be from the Midwest, Jared, if you see lots of cornfields.
Yeah, that's true.
And the last one, let me bring this all full circle here, Jared. You might be from the Midwest when you call it pop and not a soda.
There you go.
So, yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any other quirks. I mean, I will say I think Midwestern people do have our own quirks. I think Midwesterners, we tend to be, not all, but we tend to be polite, I would say. Would you agree or disagree with that?
Yeah. I think I think I said that earlier. I agree
friendly, polite. We're not like those New Yorkers, that's for sure. But I don't know. I think the Midwest is a great place. Definitely come visit. There's some beautiful spots, beautiful
Where would you
museums.
tell them to visit, Chad?
Well, in Michigan, it depends what you're visiting for. If you're visiting for nature, then I would say the UP is absolutely gorgeous. Also, like you mentioned, Eastern Ohio or Southern Ohio. Let's see here. Some other stuff. Obviously, Chicago. I think Detroit also is a pretty unique city as well. Very different than Chicago, though, for sure.
Chicago's a little easier to visit only because it's easier to manage without a car.
Yep. Oh,
Chicago's
for sure.
100% manageable without a car. Michigan, or Detroit, even Detroit, you could get around Detroit specifically, but I feel like you'd be very limited without a car here.
I'll be honest. If I'm going to Chicago, I don't want a car. If I'm going to Detroit,
actually, it's more of a burden. Yeah, that's true.
Get me a rental if I'm going to Detroit.
That's true.
Yeah, I would agree 100% with that. Well, I think honestly, Jared, the reason why a lot of people fly over the Midwest is, as you said, we may not have the drawn pizzazz that some places like New York might, or Florida, or Austin, Texas, maybe. But I will say that I think some of the stuff that happens in the summer, there's a lot of great festivals. The weather is also pretty gorgeous in the summer, at least in Michigan. So that might be another reason. But yeah, anyways, let us know what your thoughts are on the Midwest. at untranslatablepodcast@gmail.com. You can slide into those DMs on Twitter, untranslatable1, the number 1. Check us out on Instagram, especially you'll see some van pics as I progress with that. And hopefully we'll be, all I need now, Jared, is the covers for the windshield and the driver's seat and passenger side windows, and it's road tripping time, baby. So check us out on Instagram, Untranslatable Podcast. There will definitely be some stuff coming up there in the near future. And please, 5-star reviews on iTunes and Stitcher. Let us know how we can make this podcast better for you. So as we say at the Untranslatable Podcast, dziękujemy, muchas gracias, shisha, and do svidania. I can't believe we didn't mention
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we've talked about it before.
So that's the tenet of Midwesternness right there. Is the good old ope.
Yeah. I saw a lot of ope-related content, for sure.
Right.
When I was doing my deep dives.
Oh, I believe it. So, dude, I almost took a nap earlier today in my van. And yesterday as well. I tell you what, dude, it's also super nice when I can open up those back windows and just look out and chill. Oh, I forgot to mention as well, Jared, I got some LED lights that change color, so I'm going to put those up as well.
That's another good decoration aspect that I didn't think of when I brought
Spruce it up a little bit.
The ceiling constellation setup.